Hello, everyone. We are the three Black Pratt grads, and I am here with my good friends Greg Cleghorn and Kenneth Nelson, and I am Mark Skinner. And today we're going to be talking about photographs that are worth 1,000 Wordsworth. What? 1,000 Wordsworth. What? 1,000 Wordsworth photos. Basically, we're talking about photos that either have inspired poetry or have been inspired by poetry, and Wordsworth seemed to be an appropriate pun for this concept. So you didn't have to have Wordsworth as your poet, and I don't think any of us did. Maybe one did, but I don't know. Apparently none of us did. And I'm going to start very quickly with mine because we want to make this a short episode. Okay. And I am going to start with this. This is a diptych. I do not own the copyright to either the poem or the painting, right? The painting is by Charles Demuth, and I saw this painting first 30 some odd years ago while I was a crowd. I went to the Whitney Museum of American Art in New York City when it was still on Madison Avenue and 70 some odd street. And they had an exhibition of, I think, it was William Kooning, and they also had the exhibition of the Precisionists. And Charles Demuth is one of the Precisionists. And I saw the painting, and I immediately gravitated to it, and I said, aha! I'm a New Yorker. I know exactly what that is. That's got to be a fire truck. And so later on, after reading the legend that was on the side of the painting, they said exactly what it was. It was inspired by a poem. And I loved this painting so much, I even owned a print of it for some time. And because it represents, well, I'll read the poem that inspired it. The poem is The Great Figure by William Carlos Williams. And it says, among the rain and lights, I saw the figure 5 in gold on a red fire truck, moving tense, unheated, with gong clang, siren howls, and wheels rumbling through the dark city. And I got it as soon as I saw it. And this is the poem that inspired this painting. And I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. And if you go to the next one, because if you look at that 5, I'm sorry, thing. If you go back one more again, if you go back, it is the fire truck as it's moving toward you, as it's passing you, and as it is going away from you. It represents all 3 phases of the experience you have of a fire truck. I just thought it was fantastic. If you go to the next slide, please. Here is The Great Figure by William Carlos Williams. And I unconsciously, I promise, I did not go out to try to make a copy of that painting. I unconsciously saw this street vendor, this Nuts for Nuts street vendor cart, and I just had my camera around my neck, and I put it up to my eye, and I took a photograph, and I was just so enamored with whatever this scene was, and I couldn't figure it out until we started doing this. And so if you read the poem a little differently, which is what I would do, you'll see it kind of fits. Among the rain and lights, I saw the figure 2 in red. On a yellow, well, it's not a fire truck. It's really sort of peanut color. Moving tense and unheated. It wasn't really moving at all. Going clang, sirens howl. Well, it was right in Times Square, so there were sirens and there were all sorts of noises. And wheels rumbling. Got that one right. And through the dark city, even though this is broad daylight, it's pretty dark in that canyon that's on the 44th Street. But I just thought it was really kind of neat. And I really should have had a photograph of the painting and the photograph right next to one another. But I read the poem years ago. I saw the painting 35, 36 years ago. I read the poem maybe about 10, 15 years ago. And I loved it so much that when I saw this, not even thinking about it, I took a photograph that looked just like it. I mean, it even has lights, just like the fire, like the painting. I mean, it's crazy. And it's got the buildings on the right and the buildings on the left. And like I said, I didn't do this intentionally. It was just something that was so embedded in my unconscious, this image in this poem, that I made a photograph that really looks like it. Thanks, Ken. I like that toggling back and forth.
Yeah.
So there you go. So the other one was The Great Figure. And this is my interpretation of The Great Figure as aided by the painting by Charles Demuth. And that's it for me. We're going to go on next to Kenneth.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yep, unless you guys have any questions.
Yeah, I will. No, we can answer questions later, but let's just get through the
Okay.
presentation. So I'll just preface mine by saying the images came before the words, but the images were always considered to be part of the words, or at least the title of the story. So I always work in series or series titles photographically. So I my image. I'll show you mine, and I'll show you, and the words will be with it, and I can actually just say the words. Okay, so I cursed short breath most constantly. More than ever, I needed to breathe free. My breathing a little less provides more space. A rare commodity when standing face to face. Herded in mass forced into a chute. Each day like the other, my freedom is moot. Gosh, push and shove are rewards. Winner gets the loot. Refreshing another memory of a forgotten commute. The title of the ish.
Did you write that?
Yes, I did.
Very nice.
Mm, thank you. So I am. I'll just say that all the experiences that I have in commuting are sort of boiled up into this, and all the images that I've ever photographed in the subway boil down to really this.
That's about right. That's what commuting is like. Yes, it's people going places.
Uh, uh,
I hear you. Just
that's
like,
it. That's it
you
for
know,
me.
half in their own world and half
Yeah.
with you, trying not to get into too much trouble.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. And so, in the interest of time,
Uh-huh.
we're going to go on to Greg's presentation. Greg.
All right. Well, great stuff, fellas. Thanks for this topic. I'm coming to you live from Las Vegas, the Sahara, with the home of the Rat Pack. If you guys remember that, if you don't, look it up. Um,
Are we
but
supposed to sing EO11 now? So.
they got pictures of Sammy and Frank and Peter Lawford and Dean Martin. It's great. This is a
And
piece
Joey
of
Bishop.
history right here. Joey Bishop, I didn't see his picture yet, but I haven't finished roaming the halls yet. So I guess in that vein, pushing waxing nostalgic. It's going to be next month. It's going to be 20 years of the falling of the original Trade Center in Lower Manhattan, the Twin Towers, which I
Mm-hmm.
kind of grew up with. I guess all of us kind of grew up with. And well, I'm going to leave my political view out of it. I don't think they fell the way they were reported to. But anyway, I did have the opportunity while I was in the Navy to write a piece that was picked up by the authors, Dana Gioia. He was the poet laureate for the National Endowment for the Arts, and him and Andrew Carroll coordinated putting the books together, and they contacted me and asked me to revise my poem so they could use it, and it wound up being the first poem in the book, unbeknownst to me. But it was says how I grew up with the towers. Losing them was very personal, So I wanted to read a little excerpt of it, and hopefully you'll go out and pick up the book or look it up online and check it out. It's a very, very impactful book. It's a story of war told from the, service members, from, as we say in the Navy, from the deck plate level. The average sailor, average soldier, airman, and Marine and Coast Guard person that got wrapped up in that, called to duty and answered the call. So, can you put up yeah, let's see. So I guess the first, so I used to go there. I used to go up to the top of the towers, all the time. And I just said, I remember the Golden Globe. Oh, stop that, Ken.
Okay, sorry.
I remember. Oh, where is it? I remember the Golden Globe in the vast courtyard between the two buildings and the spattering fountain next to the cold stone benches. Inside the towers, I'd look up in awe at the cathedral-like glass, the suspended walkways, and the grand vaulted ceilings rising 10 stories, crowned with a diadem of crystal chandeliers. I remember the large fabric hanging artwork. I can still smell the concourse levels, red carpets when they were new. I was 11. I remember sitting on those red carpets, reading my school books, imagining I was in the city's most elegant reading room. Now, up there on floors so high no hook and ladder could ever reach, a man in tattered and burned white business shirt stands in a broken window with flames licking at him and smoke billowing around him. I see someone let go, briefly flying. I read later that hundreds did the same. Hundreds. That's all I'm going to read right now. That still kind of hits me in the chest. It's, a lot of remembrances and, 1,000 words. It was really gut wrenching, and I just wanted to share some of that. I did get a photograph in there of the towers. It was um, just the towers from the south tower looking north during a rainstorm, and the cloud covered all of New York City, so that all you could see were buildings that were taller than 50 stories poking through the cloud. And you could
Uh-huh.
see the Empire State Building in the distance, and that moment in time, and that image means a lot to me. It meant a lot to me, and it does evoke plenty of words. So thanks for the topic, and I'm just going to end it there. Go check out the book Operation Homecoming, and
You, you know,
that's it.
you know what else was really kind of great about those carpets? When you went to those carpets, there was one section that was where all the airlines had their terminals, and this is before the web, pretty much, and or the web was still new by the end of the tower's time standing. But if you had to get somewhere and you didn't have time to go out to the airport to buy tickets or get to a travel agent, you could go directly to the airline right there at the World Trade Center and buy tickets for a flight. And that was like really something. That was as amazing as, I'm going to date myself again with another 50-year-old reference, as amazing as Mannix's car phone, you know. It was just something
Who
incredible. Mannix, the insurance investigator.
did he say?
He had a
Mannix?
Mannix, yeah, he had a car phone. That was like really exotic. But even up to 2000, it was
Might
really a
as well
good,
say Get Smart and his shoe phone. Boy, you
yeah,
said
right. But
Mannix. I
that
don't even
but that was
remember
made
Mannix.
up. But the car phone was like, ooh. But the idea that you could go buy airline tickets right downtown Manhattan was like a big deal,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, my
So
big
that
deal is that most jet airliners were computerized, and they don't take off or land without the computer assist, and I can't imagine them disabling that in order for two planes to fly into the Trade Center. I'm still not going to buy it, but that's my personal view, and that's got nothing to do. Great topic.
right,
Thanks for
right,
the picture making 1,000 words. They most certainly do.
right.
So thank you.
Right, and believe me, it still bothers me to this day, and I still haven't been to the Oculus, you know. So I get where you're coming from. It still bothers me, and because I was here then, and I don't like it. But I do remember before that those carpets and how wonderful the marble spires were on the inside. It's just a beautiful place.
Yeah.
So,
It was
and
very
so
beautiful. And
yeah,
then two buildings. And speaking of Vegas, because I've watched plenty of the old classic casino halls, being demolished, and they fell straight down, kind of like the Trade Center. And even the building that wasn't hit fell straight down. So hallelujah. All right, great topic, and I
Yeah.
guess I'm up next, huh?
well, yeah, you did. Yeah, you're up next, but I have a question. Anyone have any questions about any of the photos?
Why don't you shoot more?
I'll
No,
just
but this
reference
great stuff.
that.
I love your Subway series, Ken. Those pictures are just, they kind of make me think of home, but they're kind of just a slice of New York life. It's great stuff, man.
Yeah. Mark, I like the way your image matches the painting, so I really enjoyed the relationship between those two, and I think it's spot on.
Thank you.
Ditto.
Thank you.
Mm.
All right, guys. Do we have any more questions or comments?
Nope.
Well,
We're
I
good.
think we may have matched our time goal.
We just hit the
Okay.
15-minute mark.
All right, then I better say, all right, come back. All right. Anyway, we have been the 3 Black Pratt grads.
From
Kenneth
Vegas, baby.
Nelson, Kenneth Nelson, Greg Cleghorn, and Mark Skinner. Good night.